Hello, Raw Mithril here once again, and we're finally down to the last two Robot Masters for this game. In fact, they're the two Robot Masters completely new to this game. So, awesome, we're on to uncharted territory. So, first up we have Oil Man. He's rather well known for his strange conversation with Roll, but we're playing as Mega Man, so no crude humor this time. Okay, yeah, that joke was stretching it a bit. Oh well, let's just move on. Yeah, I will freely admit that my impersonation of Oil Man from the last video was pretty off. So here we're introduced to Cactus Spy, a completely new enemy unique to Mega Man Powered Up. It's kind of a cactus met. It fires off a volley of needles and then starts running around. We're also introduced to oil physics, which strike every time you try to move. Rather irritating, that. The only way past safely is to jump. And that's not even the worst of it. Oh, we'll get to that soon enough. We also have Crazy Cannons straight from Mega Man 2. They behave pretty much the same as ever. They fire 5 times and then adjust their aim. Now here's the tricky bit. The hot heads can actually set the oil on fire. It kind of works the same as it did back in the Flame Man stage, except the fire here is not instant death, and it also burns out by itself after a while. Still not exactly something you really want to get caught in. The fire can also get rid of those particular barriers. You can also destroy them using the Firestorm if you're so inclined. And now for a little demonstration of the oil getting set on fire. Thanks for that. You actually kind of want it to happen here. It makes dealing with this hothead a lot easier. Now we just have to wait for it to burn out. Another nice thing is once the oil is burned away, you don't have to worry about slipping on it anymore. And down there was a branch path for Electman to take to get some construction packs, but we'll handle that another time. Oh, blasted oil platforms, making everything look so clumsy. I mean, seriously, who's next on the list of Robot Masters? Banana Peel Man? Oh, it's the stage of comedy. Yeah, the oil physics can get kinda irritating in a hurry. So here we have a few screw bombers, but nothing we can't handle by now. Now there are a couple tucked in here that you do have to be a little more careful about. Now here the timing gets problematic. You really want this hothead to take care of the oil for you, but getting it to do so and staying safe, that is a bit of a tricky thing. Once the oil is gone, it's not so bad anymore. Really, most of this stage is all about patience. There we go. Now I just have to wait on this. So we're almost out of here. Just our usual end of the stage playmate to deal with. Hi there, Big Eye. Yeah, you're not as bad as you were back in the Electman stage. Plenty of room to deal with you here. Time for Oil Man. Let's do this.
Warning! Hey, what you you come out here for? Don't you got a place near your house for fill-ups?
Oil man, let's go home.
You for real? Even if that just slipped out, we are still gonna do this. Yeah! It's showtime!
So, Oil Man is one of those robot masters that likes to jump when you get close to him. So just keep that in mind. The main trick here is being used to dealing with his volleys of oil shots. I usually like to jump the first, go under the second, and then jump the third. Another thing of note is that the two new Robot Masters don't really seem to have criticals. Their equivalent is using their signature moves, so in Oil Man's case, the Oil Slider. And he really likes to spam it sometimes, too. You do have to worry about the oil blobs still having the oil physics behind them. So that can get a bit tricky, but overall, Oil Man really isn't that bad. Trust me, though, you'll see the Oil Slider spam in the outtakes. And behold, as we get one of the most unwieldy additions to Mega Man's arsenal ever, the Oil Slider. Yeah, that's probably about the only place that would ever be useful, is enemies that don't attack you back and die in one hit.
Nice job. Keep up the good work.
Okay, so before we go any further, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Oil Slider and its problems. Once you fire it, it fires one glob of oil, and it lands on the ground. So long as that oil is still present, you cannot fire it again. So you have to either ride the Oil Slider, or wait until it evaporates. You can actually cause damage by just hitting the enemy with the oil blob itself, but it's largely an unreliable weapon. Definitely one of the worst ones in this game, and why playing as Oil Man is very tricky indeed. But anyway, Oil Man is down. Take that, BP! This stage wasn't so bad, but I do still have some outtakes. I really need to stop telling my friends that I don't expect problems with a stage. It always seems to doom me to an off-gaming day. Anyway, enjoy.
You're looking like you think that I don't know. Thinking that the signs of a lie don't show. Little by little you lie more. So I'ma give you something so you don't try no more. Oh my lord, what you gonna say next? Do anything for a little paycheck. I'ma tell you short, simple and basic. It really doesn't look like you're gonna make it. You make me sick with all your tricks. You just might slip, your feet lose grip. You're not that slick, I'm much too quick. You've broken something that you just can't fix. You know that oil and water don't mix.
They pretty much behave exactly the same. Well, at least I got one outtake here. The oil does burn out after a while, and I wasn't paying attention to that cactus spy at all. I'm getting overconfident here. One thing of note is the two new Robot Masters actually don't have criticals. The closest thing they have to a critical is using their signature move. In Oil Man's case, the Oil Slider. And he really likes to spam this thing. That's the most I've ever seen him use it in a row. Oh, that is one problem. You can still slip on the oil. You pass. Now here the timing gets a little bit tricky. You really want it to get rid of this oil for you. And not do that. Pest. So, this stage wasn't too bad. It did have one notable problem, but that's about it. So, for Oil Man here, this was his only appearance, so no ratings comparisons here, just a good old-fashioned difficulty analysis. I give Oil Man a 2 out of 10, and for one reason, and one reason alone. That would be the oil physics. In some areas where you need to cross oil, you don't have the luxury of maneuvering room. This notably occurs when dealing with the second-to-last hothead, and against Oilman himself when having to cross the oil puddles he leaves behind. It's notable that once the oil is gone during that hothead encounter, things become far easier. The oil physics, however, are unforgiving. Hold a direction just a split second too long after jumping, and you're going to slip. There's no correcting for it, so if it happens, you're a sitting duck for a moment, which is usually long enough to get pelted with a tackle fire or one of Oilman's shots. The fact that you're completely helpless during this is the only reason I give it that 1 extra point. If you could save yourself somehow, it would indeed have been a 1 out of 10, but as it is, 2 out of 10 for Oilman. With that, we're almost done. Just one last stage to go. That's the end of this one. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I shall see you again next time. Until then, fare thee well.